The man who killed me in my past life just saved me today. The thought echoed in my mind, surreal and sharp, as the night air whipped around me. I wasn't supposed to be here. Not on this rooftop, not at this party, not standing on the edge of someone else's life, pretending I belonged. The rooftop of the loft was strung with warm fairy lights, their soft glow trying and failing to make the steel and glass skyline feel less cold. The hum of conversation and clinking of glasses filled the air, but it all felt far away, like I was underwater. I hugged my arms around myself, feeling the weight of the simple black dress I'd thrown on at the last minute. No makeup, no jewelry, just me, bare, tired, and out of place. Why did I let Mia talk me into this? Leah. The voice snapped me out of my thoughts, too close, too familiar. Ryan. I turned, my pulse already quickening, not with excitement, but with dread. He was exactly as I remembered, tall, confident in a way that had once charmed me and now made my skin crawl. His dark hair was a little longer, his designer shirt unbuttoned just enough to seem effortless. "What are you doing here?" I asked, keeping my voice low, steady. His smile didn't reach his eyes. "It's a party, Leah. I was invited. Unlike you, I don't hide from people." I took a step back, feeling the edge of the balcony rail press against the small of my back. "I'm not doing this," I said, shaking my head. "Doing what? Talking to me?" He laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Come on, Leah. You can't keep pretending you don't feel anything. I see the way you look at me." "I don't look at you," I snapped, my voice rising. "I don't even think about you anymore. Just leave me alone." His expression hardened. The charm melted into something darker, something that reminded me why I'd walked away. "You're cold, you know that? Always have been. I should have seen it sooner." I felt the sting of his words, but I refused to let him see it. "Goodbye, Ryan." I tried to step around him, but his hand shot out, catching my wrist. That's when it happened. I don't know if it was the loose railing, the shift of his weight, or something else entirely. There was a creak, a sickening metallic groan, and then nothing beneath me but air. For a heartbeat, the world froze. Then gravity yanked me down. Wind tore at my hair, my dress. The city lights blurred into streaks of color. My heart pounded so loud I couldn't hear anything else. This is it. A strange calm filled me, the kind of calm you feel right before impact. I thought of my unfinished paintings, of Mia's laugh, of all the things I hadn't done. And then, strong arms, a voice, frantic, breaking through the haze. "Stay with me, stay with me," I gasped, air burning my lungs as I realized I wasn't falling anymore. I was on the ground, flat on my back, the night sky spinning above me, and his face. A stranger's face. Messy dark hair, gray eyes wide with panic, hands trembling as they hovered over me. His skin was pale, his breath coming fast, as if he'd been the one falling. "You're okay," he said, more to himself than to me. "You're okay." But I wasn't. Because I knew that face, not from this life, from another, from the last face I saw before I died. I couldn't look away. My body trembled, my vision swam, but I couldn't tear my eyes from his. He pressed 2 fingers to my neck, checking my pulse, then to my wrist. His touch was warm, grounding. "Call 911. Someone shouted. Feet pounded around us. A siren wailed in the distance. I tried to speak, to ask his name, but my throat was tight, my voice lost. He looked down at me, eyes shining with something I couldn't name. Guilt? Grief? Why does he look like he's seen a ghost? Or am I the ghost? He stayed with me, murmuring reassurances I barely heard over the rush of blood in my ears. When the paramedics arrived, he stepped back, letting them work, but his gaze never left mine. And even as they lifted me onto the stretcher, even as the night swallowed him up, I felt it, the invisible thread pulling us together. Or was it the chain that bound us? Life after life, tragedy after tragedy. As the ambulance doors closed, my last thought was simple, terrifying, and impossible. The man who killed me in my past life just saved me today. The first thing I noticed was the smell, sterile, sharp, the undeniable scent of antiseptic, mixed with something faintly metallic. The second was the light, dim, almost apologetic, like the room didn't want to wake me. And the third was him. He stood at the foot of my bed, tall and still, his hands tucked into the pockets of his dark scrubs. His hair was tousled, like he'd run his fingers through it one too many times. The planes of his face were sharp, but it was his eyes that held me captive, storm gray and filled with a worry that felt personal. For a moment, we just stared at each other. The hum of machines filled the silence between us. I tried to sit up, but the world tilted, and he was at my side in an instant, his hands gentle but firm as he eased me back down. "Easy," he said softly. "You hit your head when you fell. You need to rest." His voice. I'd heard it before. Not just last night. Before. "Who are you?" My throat felt raw, my voice a rasp. He hesitated, as if unsure of the answer himself. "I'm Aiden, Dr. Aiden Cross. He glanced away, collected himself. "I was there when you fell. I'm the one who kept you stable until the paramedics arrived." Aiden. Even his name felt like an echo. "Thank you," I managed, though the words felt too small for the weight of what he'd done. His lips curved into the ghost of a smile, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Don't thank me yet. You're lucky to be alive." Lucky. The word rang hollow. I didn't feel lucky. I felt like I'd been yanked out of the jaws of something inevitable. I watched him as he checked my chart, the tension in his shoulders, the way his jaw clenched and unclenched. He wasn't just being professional. He was shaken. And I wasn't the only one who felt it. "Are you always this quiet with your patients?" I asked, surprising both of us. He looked up, startled, then laughed. A low, warm sound that made my chest ache in a way I couldn't explain. "Not usually," he admitted. "I guess I'm off my game tonight." I wanted to ask why. I wanted to ask what he saw when he looked at me. But the words caught in my throat. Instead, I said, "You look like you haven't slept." His smile faded. "Neither have you." Before I could reply, the door swung open and Mia burst in like a storm. "Leah," she cried, her voice half panic, half relief. "Oh my God, you look, well, like someone who fell off a building but still alive, so I'll take it." Aiden stepped back, giving her space. Mia immediately took my hand, squeezing it tight. "Are you okay? What the hell happened?" "I'm fine," I said, though the tremor in my voice betrayed me. Mia's gaze flicked to Aiden, and in an instant, I saw the protective friend switch flip. "And who's this?" she asked, eyeing him like a bouncer at a club. "Aiden Cross," he said, offering a polite nod. "I'm her doctor." "Doctor, huh?" Mia arched a brow. "You always stand that close to your patients, doctor?" "Mia," I muttered, half mortified. But Aiden only smiled, a real one this time, though still tinged with fatigue. "Only the ones I worry about." Mia softened. "Just a little." "Thanks for helping her," she said, but her tone warned him that she was watching. He nodded. "I'll let you rest. The nurse will check on you soon." As he turned to go, our eyes met again. That same pull, that same invisible thread, tighter now. When he was gone, Mia plopped into the chair beside my bed, exhaling hard. "He's hot," she said bluntly, and weirdly intense. "Are you okay with him?" I nodded, though I wasn't sure what okay meant anymore. "He saved my life." "Yeah, and he looked like it nearly killed him to do it." I closed my eyes, the weight of everything crashing down on me. And that's when the dream came. The same man. The same storm gray eyes. But this time he wore armor, dark and battered, streaked with dirt and blood. He stood over me, sword in hand, face shadowed. I was on the ground, breathless, my heart pounding with betrayal. "Why?" I whispered in the dream. But he didn't answer. His face blurred, like a memory I wasn't ready to face. I woke with a start, my pulse racing, Mia's voice calling my name, and the lingering sense that the man who had saved me tonight had once been the one to end me. And somehow, fate had brought him back into my life. The cafe was tucked at the edge of the park, its little tables scattered beneath leafy trees, the sound of a fountain murmuring nearby. The morning sunlight filtered through the branches, casting soft patterns over the worn wooden deck. It smelled of fresh coffee and spring air, a rare moment of peace in the middle of the city. I hadn't planned to stop. I'd been walking to clear my head, trying to shake the heaviness that clung to me since the hospital. But my feet carried me here, as if on autopilot. I ordered tea, hoping the warmth would settle my nerves, and found an empty table by the fountain. "Leah?" The voice was so familiar now, I didn't even jump. I looked up. Aiden stood there, coffee in hand, looking as surprised as I felt. "Hey," I said, unable to stop the small smile that tugged at my lips. "Hey," he echoed, his smile tentative but genuine. He hesitated, then nodded toward the empty chair across from me. "Mind if I join you? I swear I'm not stalking you." I laughed, a soft, unexpected sound. I guess I'd be the hypocrite to say no. "Sit." He lowered himself into the chair, studying me like I might vanish if he blinked. Up close he looked more human this morning, slightly rumpled, dark circles under his eyes, hair that had fought with a pillow and lost. "I didn't expect to see you again," I admitted. "Same," he said, "but I'm glad I did." The honesty in his voice caught me off guard. We fell into conversation, and to my surprise it felt easy, natural. I told him about my art, about how I'd always loved to paint, though lately inspiration had been hard to come by. He listened, really listened, asking thoughtful questions that made me feel seen in a way I hadn't in a long time. He told me about his work, how surgery gave him purpose but also kept him up at night. "I keep thinking," he said, staring into his coffee, "that I'll feel better if I just save one more person. But it never ends. The guilt doesn't go away." "Guilt?" I asked gently. His eyes met mine, raw and unguarded. "I have nightmares, always the same. I kill someone, a woman. I don't know who she is. I can never see her face. But I know I loved her, and I kill her anyway." A chill ran down my spine. "I'm sorry," I said. "Because what else could I say?" He shook his head. "It's stupid. Just dreams." But we both knew they weren't. We sat in silence for a while, the fountain's steady rhythm filling the space between us. Finally, he glanced at his watch and sighed. "I should go. Early shift tomorrow." "Thanks for sitting with me," I said. "Thanks for letting me—" Our eyes met again, and for a moment the world narrowed to just us, the air heavy with words unsaid. Then he was gone. Later, back in my small studio apartment, I tried to distract myself with a blank canvas. The familiar smell of oils and turpentine should have been comforting. But my hand moved without conscious thought, sketching lines that felt more like memory than creation. When I stepped back, I froze. It was him, Aiden. His face, his eyes, the haunted expression I'd seen that morning. The knock on my door made me jump. Mia let herself in, carrying takeout and her usual whirlwind energy. "Dinner delivery for the lady who nearly fell to her death," she announced. She spotted the canvas and stopped. "Leah." She crossed her arms. "Are you seriously painting him now? What's next, a shrine?" "It's not like that," I said, but even I wasn't sure what it was like. She set the food down and came closer, eyeing the painting. "He's hot, I'll give you that. But girl, maybe paint literally anyone else. Someone less loaded." I tried to laugh, but my heart wasn't in it. Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. Ryan. I didn't want to answer, but I knew he'd keep calling if I didn't. "Leah," he said when I picked up, his tone soft, too soft. "I've been worried. Can we talk?" "There's nothing to talk about, Ryan. Please. Just dinner. No pressure. I miss you." I closed my eyes, exhaustion washing over me. "I'll think about it," I lied and hung up. Mia raised a brow. "You owe me Thai food if you even consider that dinner." "Deal," I said, forcing a smile. But inside I felt the storm gathering. Because I knew Ryan. And he didn't give up easily. My studio smelled of oil paint and turpentine, familiar scents that should have grounded me. But tonight, they only added to the haze clouding my mind. Canvases leaned against every wall, some half-finished, others abandoned. The city stretched beyond my window, a sea of lights flickering like restless spirits. I stared at the painting of Aiden I'd started, brush frozen mid-air. No matter how I tried, I couldn't capture the storm in his eyes, the weight of lifetimes I felt there. A sharp knock at the door jolted me. Mia didn't wait for me to answer. She burst in, cheeks pink from the cold night, eyes bright with the thrill of discovery. "You will not believe what I found," she said, slamming an old leather-bound book onto my work table. Dust rose in a puff. I blinked at it. "What is that?" "A treasure." She grinned, pulling up a chair. "I stopped by that weird little antique shop on 9th. You know, the one that smells like mothballs and regret. The owner gave me this when I asked about old legends. Said it's from some estate sale. I flipped through it and, Leah, you need to see this. Curiosity overrode my fatigue. I set down my brush and opened the book. The pages were brittle, covered in looping script and delicate sketches. Mia leaned over my shoulder, pointing. Read this. The passage told of souls doomed to meet across lifetimes, drawn together, torn apart by betrayal, repeating the same tragedy until forgiveness broke the chain. My heart pounded as the words blurred and swam. It was too close, too familiar. I know it sounds crazy, Mia said, softer now. But doesn't this sound like you and Aiden? I swallowed hard. It does. She touched my arm. Leah, maybe this is the key. Maybe you can stop whatever this is before it hurts you again. Her words echoed in my mind long after she left, leaving me alone with the book, my paints, and my racing thoughts. That night, I didn't sleep. I pieced together fragments of my dreams like a puzzle. A sword, blood on my hands, a man's voice begging forgiveness. And always, those gray eyes watching as the world burned. In the days that followed, Ryan became harder to avoid. I'd turn a corner and find him there, leaning against a lamppost like he'd been waiting. He showed up at the cafe where I worked on sketches, sent messages I didn't answer. Leah, please, just talk to me. You're overreacting. I can't stop thinking about you. What had once been flattering now felt like a trap closing around me. Mia noticed too. Block him, she said. I'm serious. The guy's unhinged, but part of me hesitated. The part that remembered the charm before it soured. Meanwhile, Aiden had his own shadows. At the hospital after a long shift, he found himself in the break room, scrubbing his hands harder than necessary, trying to wash away the unease that clung to him. Working yourself to death again? The voice was cool, smooth, and far too knowing. He turned to see Dr. Celine leaning against the counter, arms crossed, a smirk playing at the corners of her mouth. Celine, he said, weary, what do you want? To help, she said, pushing off the counter. Or at least to stop you from making a mistake. What mistake? Her gaze sharpened. Her. That woman. Leah. His heart skipped. How do you... You're not subtle, Aiden. And neither is she. People talk... He frowned. It's none of your business. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. You don't know what you're getting into. You think you're saving her? Maybe she's the one pulling you under. He stared at her, unsettled. What are you saying? I'm saying you're too good at breaking yourself for people who don't deserve it. Her hand brushed his arm. Too familiar, too possessive. I'm saying, maybe you should remember who's always had your back. He pulled away, heart pounding, and left without another word. That night, I stood at my window, the city stretched before me, the book in my hands. I felt the weight of unseen threads tightening around me, the past, the dreams, Ryan's growing obsession, Aiden's silent struggle. The air felt heavier, the night darker. I didn't know what was coming, but I knew it wouldn't let me run. The library smelled of old paper, ink, and dust, like secrets waiting to be found. The soft creak of floorboards echoed as Aiden and I stepped between towering wooden shelves, their surfaces worn smooth by generations of searching hands. We hadn't planned to meet here. It had started with a text, I need to see you, I need to understand. And now we were here, drawn together as if by invisible strings. Aiden trailed his fingers along the spines of books, his expression tight, like he was bracing for something. The gray of his eyes seemed darker in the low light, shadowed by things unsaid. I've been dreaming of you, I said quietly, breaking the silence. He froze. I took a breath, the truth heavy on my tongue. Not you now, you. Before, in armor, a sword, blood, betrayal. His throat worked as he swallowed. I thought I was going crazy. I turned to face him fully. Tell me. He hesitated, then met my gaze, raw and unguarded. I see your face now. In the dreams. I didn't before. But last night. It was you. My heart thudded. A slow, aching rhythm. I killed you, Leah. His voice broke. I don't know how, or why, but I did. And it felt like the worst thing I've ever done, and I can't escape it. I reached out, my fingers brushing his. You didn't kill me. Not really. Not in this life. But I did once. We stood there, suspended between past and present, between what was and what might be. We found the book together, tucked behind a row of crumbling volumes, its cover cracked, the title nearly faded. The Binding of Lost Souls. Aiden opened it, his hands steady despite the tension that thrummed between us. We read in silence, side by side. The legend unfolded in careful script. A woman and a man, bound across lifetimes by love and tragedy. Betrayed by a friend, torn apart by death. Again and again they find each other, and again, one is lost. Only forgiveness and the breaking of trust's chain can free them. I stared at the words, my vision blurring. Aiden's voice was low, shaken. It's us, isn't it? I nodded, unable to speak past the lump in my throat. Memories flooded me, of dreams, of a battlefield, of a friend's blade at my back, while the man I loved watched, powerless to stop it. Ryan, I whispered. Aiden stiffened. It was him. The friend who betrayed us. The room felt colder suddenly, the weight of history pressing down. I don't want this, I said, panic rising. I don't want to be part of some cursed cycle. I don't want to fall for you and die for it. His face twisted in pain. Do you think I do? I stepped back, needing distance, needing air. We should end this now. Whatever this is, we stop it before it starts. But it's already started, he said, voice hoarse. Hasn't it? I couldn't answer. Because we both knew the truth. Whatever bound us wasn't something we could break just by walking away. Rain slicked the streets, turning them into mirrors that reflected the neon signs above. The city glowed in fractured colors, red, blue, green, blurring together with each ripple in the puddles beneath my feet. I pulled my coat tighter around me, head down, hoping the storm would wash away the weight in my chest. I'd been avoiding Aiden. No texts, no calls, no accidental meetings at cafes or libraries, because if I saw him again, I wasn't sure I'd have the strength to walk away. But the universe, or fate, or whatever cruel hand was playing this game, had other plans. Leah, the sound of my name, spoken low and close, froze me in place. I turned slowly. Ryan stood a few feet away, rain dripping from his hair, his eyes sharp and too bright. I've been looking for you, he said, stepping closer. I kept my voice calm. Ryan, go home. I can't. His laugh was bitter. Not until we talk. Really talk? There's nothing to say. You're wrong. His hands clenched at his sides. He's gotten into your head, hasn't he? That doctor. I see it. I see how you look at him. My heart raced, not with fear, at least not yet, but with the sick certainty that this wouldn't end easily. Ryan, please. Just let me be. He shook his head, rain streaming down his face like tears he wouldn't shed. You think you can just erase us, after everything? I didn't answer. I just turned and walked away, boots splashing through the puddles, hoping the night would swallow his voice. Later, in my apartment, Mia slammed an ancient book onto the counter, her hair wild from the rain, cheeks flushed with determination. I found something, she announced. A way out. I blinked at her. What? She flipped the book open to a worn page. The script was faded, but I could make out the title, Rituals of Release. It's old, Leah. Really old. But it talks about breaking bindings of the soul. Through forgiveness, through choice. Forgiveness, I echoed, the word foreign on my tongue. Mia softened. You don't have to decide now. But I needed you to know. There's hope. Hope felt distant when Aiden found me again. It was late, the rain still falling, the city humming quietly around us. Why are you avoiding me? He asked, his voice tight. I stared at him, the glow of a nearby sign casting shadows on his face. Because I'm scared. Of me? Yes, I admitted, my voice cracking. Because every time I'm near you, I feel like I'm falling, and I don't know if you'll catch me or if it ends with me broken again. He stepped closer, rain plastering his hair to his forehead. I'm not your enemy, Leah. I never was. Not then. Not now. Then why does it feel like the universe keeps setting us up just to tear us apart? Maybe because we're supposed to fight for it this time. I wanted to believe him. God, I wanted to. His hand hovered near mine, not quite touching. I don't want to lose you, he said, so softly I almost didn't hear. I breathed out, the storm inside me quieting just a little. Then don't, I whispered, and in that moment I realized, beneath the fear, the doubt, the curse of our past, my heart already belonged to him. The night was supposed to be quiet. I'd stayed late in my studio, trying to paint away the storm inside me. But the brush felt heavy, the colors wrong. Nothing on the canvas matched what lived behind my eyes. Then I smelled it, before I saw it. Smoke. At first, faint. A whisper at the edge of the night. Then thicker, choking, curling beneath the door. I froze. The fire alarm blared, piercing the silence, and I snapped into motion. Flames licked at the edges of the room, devouring canvases, reaching greedy fingers toward the ceiling. Heat blasted my skin. The air grew thick, unbreathable. I stumbled toward the door, but fire had already claimed the hallway. Panic clawed at me. I backed away, coughing, eyes burning. A sound behind me, a voice. Leah. Aiden. He appeared through the smoke like a vision, face streaked with soot, eyes wild with fear. "What are you doing?" I gasped. "Saving you," he said, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. He grabbed my hand, pulling me toward a window. The glass cracked from the heat. The world outside blurred by smoke. "We have to go, now." I hesitated. The drop below was too far. But Aiden didn't. He hauled me close, wrapped his coat around me, smashed the window with a chair. "Hold on to me," he said. And I did. He climbed out first, helping me after, guiding us down the fire escape as flames roared behind us. The metal burned our hands, but we didn't stop, not until our feet hit the wet pavement below. The studio crackled, sparks raining down like falling stars. I turned to him, breathless, shaking. "You could have died. So could you." The words hung between us, heavy with meaning. And suddenly I saw it, not the man in my dreams with the sword, not the betrayer I'd feared, but the man who had always tried to save me. In this life. In the last. Maybe in all of them. Tears blurred my vision. "I was wrong," I whispered. He stepped closer, rain mingling with the sweat and ash on his face. "I don't care about the past, Leah. I care about now. About you." "I care about you too," I said, my voice breaking. And in that moment, with the fire dying behind us and the night washing us clean, I let go of the fear and held on to him. The forest was quiet, the kind of quiet that felt sacred. Stars stretched endlessly overhead, their light cool and pure, untouched by the chaos of the city we'd left behind. We stood in a small clearing, the ground soft beneath our feet, the air crisp with the scent of pine and earth. Aiden was beside me, his hand warm in mine, steadying us both. Between us, a small fire crackled, its glow casting long shadows that danced on the trees. "This is it," I whispered. He nodded, his gaze on the flames. No more running, no more fear. We'd brought what tied us to the past, the things we couldn't seem to let go. Aiden's old ring, tarnished and heavy with history. My sketches of those haunting dreams, the warrior, the battlefield, the betrayal. I knelt, holding the papers close for one last moment, feeling the weight of every brushstroke, every sleepless night they represented. Then I fed them to the fire. The flames rose, hungry, devouring the images, turning them to ash that floated into the night. Aiden did the same, his ring glinting once before it fell into the fire, the metal hissing as it met the heat. I closed my eyes. "I forgive you. I forgive me. I release us." Aiden's voice joined mine, low and sure. "Let the past stay in the past." The weight that had clung to my heart began to lift, like a chain loosening link by link. A rustling broke the stillness. We turned as Ryan stepped into the clearing. His face was pale, eyes hollow, as if the firelight laid his soul bare. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," he said, "but I hated watching you with him. I hated knowing I'd never be what you needed." I didn't speak. Neither did Aiden. We let him empty the poison from his heart. I was always second best. In this life, in the last, maybe in all of them. "You don't have to be," I said quietly. "Let it go, Ryan. Like we are." For a long moment, he just stood there. Then he turned and disappeared into the trees, swallowed by the dark. The fire burned lower, the last of the past reduced to glowing embers. Aiden took my hand again. His smile was small but real. "I don't think I'll have those dreams anymore," he said. I leaned into him, breathing in the night, feeling lighter than I had in lifetimes. "Neither will I." And under the endless sky, with the past behind us and the future ours to shape, we stayed like that, free. The gallery was filled with light. Morning sun streamed through tall windows, casting golden patterns on the polished floors. Soft music drifted through the space, mingling with the quiet hum of conversation as guests moved from painting to painting. My paintings. For the first time in years, they weren't shadows of my nightmares. They were full of color, of hope. Skies streaked with pink and gold, oceans that sparkled with promise, faces that smiled instead of wept. Aiden stood beside me, his hand warm at the small of my back, his presence steady and sure. He wore a simple suit, but it didn't hide the softness in his eyes when he looked at me. "You did it," he said quietly. "We did it," I thought, but only smiled. Mia appeared, a champagne flute in hand, grinning like she owned the place. "So," she teased, bumping my shoulder. "Is this going to be a regular thing? Art shows followed by near-death rescues? Because I need to know what shoes to wear next time." I laughed, feeling light, truly light. "No more rescues," I said. "Just living." Mia smirked. "We'll see." Later, as the crowd thinned and the music faded, Aiden and I stood by the window, watching the city beyond. "I was thinking," he said, fingers brushing mine, "maybe it's time we see the world. Just us. A fresh start." I turned to him, my heart full. "Yes," I said. "Let's go." And as the sun rose higher, painting the city in gold, I knew this was our new dawn.